Hi, y'all. Easy Slider here. Yes or no? Send care packages to my long-distance relationship partner? If you remember back in video number 6, we had a discussion about sending money to your LDR. What we're discussing were guidelines, and they're by no means set in stone. Each person needs to decide for themselves, but for sure, using guidelines at least gives you a safe place to start. Money's a tricky thing to talk about, a tricky subject, so we discussed early in your relationship, set boundaries about sending money. That's very important because sending money can quickly get out of control. You know, it's something that only takes a few minutes to send, and it's something that they want over and over and over, okay? What about sending a care package? Is that the same thing as sending money? Even with packages, there should be boundaries set in all of the things we do that has anything to do with money-wise. You always need to establish that your relationship is going in the right direction before you even consider doing anything. And as I mentioned, it's always best to meet your LDR partner face to face before you start sending any money. It's a little different with care packages. The rules might be a little more relaxed, okay? And it just kind of, for several reasons, works out that way. Now, I want you to keep in mind that we're on a mission. We want to be the #1 go-to channel for information about long-distance relationships. When I was going through this, I didn't have anyone to help me at first, but then I met this girl that had just finished going through it, everything that I was starting to go through. She helped me and she guided me through a lot of the process. Wow, did I really appreciate what she did for me so much. As time passed, she came to the United States to be with her new husband, and I lost contact with her. But I never forgot the help that she gave me. You know, now it's my turn to pass it forward. But the good thing now is that I have you helping me. We get the job done together. Because I want you to feel part of this LDR family. I want you to post comments, tell us about your LDR, or even ask questions. I also welcome ideas of what you'd like to hear about, what we'd like to talk about. Feel free. You know, send me messages, make suggestions of what you want to hear about. Well, as one of my subscribers knows, some of the things I just don't feel that I'm qualified to talk about, and he had asked for something that was one of those things. And I told him, I just don't feel qualified to talk on this, but I want him to know that I appreciate him sending me a question, taking the time to do that, and being part of our family. And even though I couldn't answer it, I'm sure that along the way, maybe he'll have something else he wants to talk about, and he's always welcome to comment to me. Okay, remember, when you finish watching our video right now, go back to number 6 and refresh your mind on what we talked about. Okay. We have some questions to think about, so I'm going to go over the questions and then we'll break them down for you. When should I start sending boxes? What benefit would it have? Should I expect anything in return? How often should I send them? What should I send? What are Bellic buy-on boxes? Ooh. That's a mouthful. How much does it cost to send them? How long does it take her to get it after I send it? How is it better than sending money? Just keep in mind the differences in sending money and care boxes. The care boxes are more control, and there's more limits on it. All right, let's take each point and discuss it a little bit. When should I start sending boxes? Well, that's something that should develop over time. If you just met her 3 weeks ago, I wouldn't get into it that quick. I'd give it more time. Sending a box takes time, and you want to make sure the relationship is developing before you commit to doing that. What benefits would it have? The benefits is going to be an opportunity to develop a relationship with your partner and her family, okay? They'd appreciate the extra help, whatever you send them. And I can tell you really quick that when the family is on your side, that is a huge help. Should I expect anything in return? As far as getting like a return gift, don't expect anything. Keep in mind these girls struggle hard in life. Even the ones that have jobs struggle because the pay is low. It takes every penny they've got to just keep food on the table and help their family. So if she shows you respect and love for sending that package, man, that's the best thing you're ever going to get for a return, I can tell you. How often should you send them? Well, it's much easier to regulate a care package than sending money. The need for money quickly can get out of control because it only takes a few minutes to send it, and then it seems like they got it, they spend it, and they need more. With a care package, you have to prepare to do that, and get everything ready, and it takes time. And I feel like sending 2 a year, that's a pretty good goal. One for a birthday, and then one for Christmas. The Christmas one would be just like for her whole family, just like you do here. Like we give gifts at home, and the other one, her birthday, that's her special day. What should you send? I'd expect on her birthday that you talk to her a little bit and find out something that should be really interesting, that she'd like. Give her something personal and something that's going to make her really happy. At Christmas time, gifts for the family allow the family to experience that you actually care about them, that you took time to get something, that you took time to box something. So that's great. Unlike here at home, when we give gifts, a lot of times we kind of go overboard. We spend too much money and buy lavish gifts. All you have to know there is if your gift shows a genuine care for the person that you're sending it to, then they're going to be happy to get it. Food can be sent, but you have to know which food, all right? When I send food, I only send canned goods, and that way I never have a problem. Never. Don't send things like chemicals or batteries or food that you canned or dried fish or things like that. A really good thing at Christmas that I learned is to go to garage sales and buy like new clothes for the family members. Only thing is you just have to get the size right. And if they say, hey, I wear a large, remember, their large is different from our large, all right? That ought to tell you something right there. Should tell you that it's going to be hard for you to find anything that fits you in the Philippines. No shoes, no shirts, no pants. Hard to find. Just make sure you got the right size. Now, everybody wants chocolate, but always worry about it. It's going to melt in the box because of the heat. It takes so long to get there, and it's so hot, and it's packed in that box. And so I usually don't try to send chocolate in balikbayan boxes, but I can promise you that when you're going in person, pack some chocolate in your suitcases. Everybody will be asking for it. What is a balikbayan? What's called a balikbayan box is a way that Filipinos can send packages back home duty-free. They make it that way where they can send stuff to their family back home, and it really helps out a whole lot. It helps the family, and it helps you because you're not paying any duty or anything when they send it. Boxes are usually about 2 feet wide, about 2 feet high, and about a 1.7 feet deep. And I've never seen a weight limit imposed on these boxes. So for us, it's all you can pack in that baby. I mean, just pack it tight, all right? Finding a company is usually pretty easy. All you have to do is, if you know a Filipino, just ask them, because that's a very common form of shipping for a Filipino, and most every Filipino knows where they can find, either you get someone to bring you balikbayan boxes and pick them back up, or you go somewhere and get the boxes, bring them home, and then take them back there. Now, me personally, I like the ones that come to me and pick the boxes up, because these boxes are heavy. You don't want to be handling them. Now, the guy that does ours, usually it's about 1,000-mile round trip, and he comes about every 2 or 3 weeks. So you can figure, you know, it takes a lot more time to do it that way, so it's slower. How much does a Bellic buy-in box cost to ship? Well, it's going to depend on where you live, all right? I live in the southeastern United States, and hey, you would know that if you watched the UFO video number 13. You would know that. If you missed it, you might need a laugh. So don't forget to go back and check the video number 13, all right? Now, it cost me about $100 to $125 per box, depending on which company is shipping it. All right. We have relatives that live in Hawaii, and from there it costs about $60 because it's a lot closer to the Philippines. So where I live, sending a small box, even from the post office, it would cost you $40 or $60, and you can't get anything in the box. It's just too small. So you're a lot better off to send a Bellic buy-in box. I always do that. Sometimes I say Bellic, sometimes I say Ballic, but I believe it's Ballic, okay? So once again, it costs depending on where you're shipping from. Now, if you're shipping from somewhere like New York or New England or something, it might cost a whole lot more. I'm not sure. How long does it take your box to arrive? Once again, it depends on where it's shipped from. And it travels by boat, so there's a time delay. From my location, I just expect it to take 3 months. Now, how that works is, like I mentioned, the guy's about 1,000-mile round trip. He'll come every 2 or 3 weeks. So after his box, we call, let them know, and then they come and they pick the box up, and they carry it back, and they take it to where they're shipping it from. Then they ship it. So I figure about 3 months. However, sometimes they surprise me and they get there in 2 months. When it arrives in the Philippines, then they're going to deliver it to the location that you sent it to. Sometimes that can be a little tricky. Right? I'll give you an example. I had a good friend over there. I do have a good friend over there. And from the road to her house is about 1/4 mile down a dirt trail. It's not even a road. You can't even drive a car down it. It's a trail. You walk down it. So she was going to have to figure out how to get this box from the road to her house. I love it. They had a cow they used to plow the field. All right. So what they did is they got the cow and they put the yoke on the cow, and they had a pallet. They went down to the road, they loaded the box on the pallet, they hooked the cow up to the pallet, and they pulled it to the house. Things are different, all right? But they have a way of getting things done. And it made me laugh. I got a kick out of it, but hey, they handled it. They knew how to do it, all right? How is it better than sending money? In my mind, several ways. Like I say, often the money gets used in ways that you would rather it didn't get used. And an example of that is maybe you send them a little bit more money than they're used to having, and it just kind of like, goes to their head, and they run out and they blow it. And they didn't think about, hey, I needed to do this or I needed to do that. So when you send a box, you can decide what you want to put in that box, and that way you know they're going to be getting something that they really can use. And I like to send a bunch of little things too. Watch them open those boxes. It's just, I get excited about it with just watching them, because you'll see the expression on their face. They'll get something they didn't know they were going to get. And they love stuff like Spam, okay? You send them a can of Spam and you see their face light up. It's so cool, all right? So it takes time to get it. So the only thing I can mention is always plan ahead. And when you're sending 2 times a year, they can just about, they know they're going to get it on their birthday or pretty close, and they know they're going to get it about Christmas time. So I think you can easily see the benefits of sending a Bellic buy-in box over sending money. They love getting the box, and the only rule of thumb is send early. All right. What's one thing that when you're dealing with an Asian woman usually trips a man up? Want to find out? Well, I got your answer. All right. Come on. Well, let's go find out what's going to trip you up real quick.